As I said, I have come with lesson 5. Before starting this lesson, I would like to remind you that in lesson 4 we reminded you of a question and 2 Bible verses. Now you understand that even if there was no sun, 1, 2 and 3 days could pass because the sun had a rotation. This is a lesson that needs to be done in great detail. I hope to bring this lesson to you in the future. Okay, let's look at 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8. But do not forget this one thing. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. So do you see that 1,000 of your years can be one day with Him? This is a question between time and plan. Even though we calculate everything in terms of time, God is in a process, so He is in a plan. The one who has a plan sees to the success of its steps one by one. That process can be difficult for us to understand when we are in time. Now, see if you know the answer to this question. According to the Bible, what millennium are we living in? Yes, the 6th millennium. Let's look at 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8 and divide this millennia into thousands and see how each 1,000-year period relates to the days of creation. First 1,000 years, first millennium, first day. Second 1,000 years, second millennium, second day. Third 1,000 years, third millennium, third day. 4,000 years, fourth millennium, fourth day. 5,000 years, fifth millennium, fifth day. 6,000 years, sixth millennium, sixth day. Okay, now let's match the days and millennia. I'm sure you never heard a lesson like this before. And I want to tell you that if you are not familiar with Bible symbols, it will be a little difficult to understand this lesson. And if you know a little about Bible symbols, it will be easier for you to understand the lesson I am going to tell you. Let's see how the first day fits into the first millennium. On the first day, God created the separation of light from darkness. The creation of Adam and Eve belongs to the first millennium. After God created Adam and Eve, the first thing He did was to show them good and evil. Adam and Eve had to face their temptations. Then Cain and Abel had to face their temptations. In the first 1,000 years, God did this. He taught mankind to distinguish between darkness and light. Now we have to look at the second millennium, the second day. On the second day, the separation of the waters above the expanse from the water below the expanse. It was during the second millennium that Noah's flood was sent to the world after creating the world. All of you know this story, and you will understand why it is so important to learn about the symbols in the Bible. Do you know that when the Bible uses words like water and sea, those words symbolize people and nations? Let's learn about that in the future. Now you know what happened in Noah's flood. That was the separation of God-fearing people from earthly man. The third millennium. On the third day, God separated the dry land and separated the gathered water as sea. As I said before, that sea symbolizes nations. Starting with Adam, the greatest event in the world occurred in the third millennium, which was the calling of Abraham, and the birth of a nation from him. You know, this man is the reason for the birth of the nation of Israel. Also, it was the third millennium that Abraham's descendants were enslaved in Egypt and were redeemed by Moses. The fourth millennium, the fourth day, the creation of the sun, moon, and stars. Now let's see how the fourth day relates to the fourth millennium. For all Christians, this fourth millennium is a very important millennium. The reason is that the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus all took place in the fourth millennium. Not only that, but after he was taken to heaven, his disciples gathered into his name to remember him, to memorize him. This is what happened in the fourth millennium. Now, if you have studied symbols, you know that the sun symbolizes Jesus Christ in the Bible. Then the moon symbolizes the gathering of his followers, simply put, the ecclesia. Fifth millennium, the fifth day. God created fish and birds on the fifth day. Do you know that there is only one concept for these fish and birds have? That is, fish use their fins to swim in the water and birds use their wings to fly in the air. No one can stop them. You can hold them, but if you let them go, they will start swimming or flying again. To stop this, you have to kill them. Do you know what Christians call the fifth millennium? It is the restoration millennium. The reason for this is that the disciples of Jesus went out into the world with his gospel. No one could stop them. Like fish with wings and birds with wings, they began to fly around the world. That is why those who wanted to stop this killed them. Do you see that there is a connection between the days of creation and the millennia? The creations that were created in those days have happened in those respective millennia. We are in 6th millennium. So, what is relevant to this millennium is shown to us in the creation created on the 6th day. The things that you will face in this millennium are in this 6th day. But we hope to bring this 6th day in the next lesson. If you want to study the Bible in more deeply, please continue to follow us.